On this Thursday night from Whitehorse, Arctic sovereignty and security under threat. The promise to protect the region as Canada tries to play catch-up.
It seems that everybody else around the world understands how important it is.
And what Canada's Inuit expect.
We want to be a part of this moment.
Soaring stocks and suspicions why the U.S. president is accused of insider trading. On the campaign trail, how the Liberals are pledging to get tougher on crime, and how the Conservative leader is brushing off plummeting poll numbers. And like a good neighbor, Yukon is there.
I forget that it's a whole different country.
What Alaskans are afraid of losing.
Global National with Donna Friesen, reporting tonight from Whitehorse.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us. We are overlooking the Yukon River on the traditional territory of the Kwanlin Dun First Nation and the Tan Quechan Council. We're here to talk about Arctic sovereignty and security. There's long been heightened awareness about those issues here. Now the rest of Canada is starting to pay attention. America is no longer a reliable partner. Russia is building up its military capability in the Arctic. China calls itself a near-Arctic nation now. All of it has thrust Canada's north into the geopolitical spotlight. The White House confirmed the U.S. will charge a 145% tax on all Chinese imports. And there are questions about whether the sequence of events when Trump did his tariff reversal yesterday were intentional. Jackson Prosco explains. Canadian investors are affected by all this uncertainty, too. Liberal leader Mark Carney says he will pause campaigning for a third time to go back to Ottawa. As Prime Minister, he will convene a meeting of the Cabinet Committee on Canada-U.S. Relations and National Security. As Liberal leader today, Carney unveiled his crime and public safety platform. The Conservative leader focused on housing and cost of living. Mackenzie Gray will have more on that in just a moment. But first, David Akin, who is with the Liberal campaign for an announcement that many say could have been pulled from the Tory playbook. Welcome back to Whitehorse. There's been a deadly helicopter crash in New York City. It went down in the Hudson River off Manhattan. Video posted on social media shows pieces of the helicopter falling into the river. First responders say 6 people, the pilot, 2 adults and 3 children, were killed. It is too early to say what caused it to go down. Plenty of European explorers and adventurers have claimed to have conquered Canada's north. The latest is a 23-year-old British woman. This is the SS Klondike, a steam-powered paddle wheeler that carried freight on the Yukon River in the 20s and 30s. It's now a National Historic Site. Canada's north has just 3 federal seats. It's not usually a place political leaders make a priority. Yukon's Premier Ranj Pillai says it's time Canadians paid more attention to the north. I spoke with him earlier and started by asking him about what voters are most concerned about.
We're thinking about cost of living. We're thinking about housing. We're thinking about challenges with healthcare. All of those are things that I think most Canadians have on their mind. But here in the Yukon, we also are thinking about investments that are long overdue for the north. The infrastructure that's required. As you know, we have a beautiful territory, but there's some really big investments, and they're not investments that are going to be just put on the backs of Yukoners.
When we talk to people around town, we've heard a lot of people kind of move very quickly to the man who's not on the ballot in this federal election campaign, and that's President Trump.
Yeah, the conversation about critical minerals, the conversation about the Arctic, I think it's all really put into sharp focus the commitment that our country has to make to the north. So it's on everybody's mind.
When you hear President Trump say Canada should become the 51st state, are you afraid he's coming after critical minerals and resources in the north and access to shipping lanes?
Are we going to see something, an aggressive move into our sovereign country? Maybe not, but I think we have to be aware that there is a real appetite for what's in the north, and it's something that Canada as a country needs to take into consideration.
You said that Arctic security must become a top priority rather than just an afterthought in Canada. Why has it been an afterthought?
I believe it's been an afterthought because we've seen decisions made in Ottawa on short cycles. 2 to 3, 4-year planning to build projects and to build strong infrastructure for Arctic security takes much longer. I think when you only have 3 MPs representing the entire north, it's more politically acceptable to put investments into areas where you have many more MPs that are forcing those decisions.
It's not been seen as a political winner to invest heavily in Arctic security, right?
It seems that everybody else around the world understands how important it is, but we need to understand how important it is as a country.
And if we don't invest more heavily in Arctic security, what is the risk?
Well, I mean, we've seen the risks already. I mean, if you flow down this river, inevitably you come out to the Pacific, you come out to the Bering. There's lots of activity that's happening, and it's from countries that are maybe not as friendly as some of our allies.
It's from Russia and China.
Yeah, it's Russia and China, and we've seen other activity that's happened, and we're going to continue to see other countries that have interest. We're going to see in 25 years, as we see the sea ice start to change, these are going to become significant routes for shipping. But 25 years, when you're looking at planning, building, all the work that has to be done, we're behind already. So, we have to see that ambition.
Let me ask you about resource projects. That's another issue in the North that you believe needs to be escalated, right?
Yeah.
And streamlining the process so that resource projects can be built faster.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Look, I think we want to see hard timelines. We want to see a process that has a lot of common sense in it. There's always got to be consultation. We also always need to have First Nations at the table, understanding what their thoughts are about the projects that are in place and what the impacts will be. I mean, here we've got 27 of the 31 critical minerals identified that the whole world wants. I mean, from the EU alone, from our Nordic friends, so many countries want to be in partnership with Canada, and especially around critical minerals.
There are people, Premier, who think that Canada is sort of in the midst of facing an existential threat from the United States. Is that how you feel?
I think we have to have our eyes wide open, and we need to understand going forward that this is an opportunity for us to wake up as a country and to rise to the occasion. And that means new markets, build in Canada, build this country, come together, and not be just leaning on our friends across the border, but to know that we can stand on our own and we'll be fine. But it's going to take a credible amount of hard work.
Premier, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That is Global National for this Thursday from Whitehorse, a beautiful place. Thanks for having us, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.